Warning, do not watch this video if this is your first time playing La-Mulana. The charm of these games is lost if you use a guide to carry you throughout the game. These videos are only meant to prove people wrong when they say you need a guide to beat the game, or if anybody doesn't plan to buy La-Mulana anyways. With that in mind, enjoy. Hello everybody and welcome back to La-Mulana. Now that we got a fancy new helmet, let's go fishing. Yeah, weird logic I know, but there's a distinct reason for this. Welcome to Spring in the Sky, and right off the bat we got Zelpid telling us that this water sucks. It's literally poisonous. That's the big gimmick of this area. You need to find something to eliminate the poisonous effects of the water, or else you can't proceed. This is also the main puzzle of the area. In order to open up several areas of Spring in the Sky, we have to unlock the floodgates. Now when you first come in here, you think, oh hey, an elevator, we have to go up here. So let's do that. Naturally, we see a room we haven't seen before. Unfortunately, this room is empty, save for a statue. Weird. I think here I hesitate because of the bats, but one of the more annoying parts of this level is the elevator. You'll see why later. Fucking bats, man. But this area has a chest, but we're also stonewalled by what looks like a ball in the wall. And since we can't go left, we have to go right. Now this fish is a bitch. Also, this room holds a puzzle, which is unusually easy. It's generally assumed that you're gonna fall on that thing and naturally it'll shift, so players will think, oh, I want to see where this takes us. Then we get a dice for the caltrops. The caltrops are a fun toy, just remember that you could step on them too. And they hurt for all of 1 damage, but still. Now this is why we bought the helmet back in... what was it? We bought the helmet at the Twin Labyrinths, and that's why we need it. This place has a lot of waterfalls, and as that skeleton told us, those waterfalls will impede our progress unless we have a helmet. Somehow. Yeah, it really doesn't make any sense. You'd think a steel helmet would impede your progress further, causing you to sink. Ah well. Now, if memory serves, we had a clue that says cross the sacred lake. Well, as this tile shows, it's basically the same room, and I believe Yagoo Map Reader also tells us that it's Sacred Lake. But we'll cross that later. I just remembered while recording this that I have to get the save point. Now, generally the save point is placed right here because for people that don't have the helmet and still want to get out of here, that'll most likely be the first waterfall you run into, so it's a good design choice. It allows you to get away with saying, hey, you need to go somewhere else now, loser. But I'm smart. Now, crossing Sacred Lake is tricky, mainly because this water's poisonous. And jumping out of water is always the hardest thing for me. Also fairies, but we already talked to the fairy queen, so we know this knowledge. But yeah, that tablet basically says what fairies do, so it's a helpful little thing to remember. Not important. And hell, it's easy to remember now that I think about it. But yeah, this level has a lot of elevators. A lot of elevators. It's generally notorious that those fish are the fucking bane of this level. And we're beset upon by Jackrabbit if we go to this area. Now I go to this area because this is a necessary mid-boss. And not a hard mid-boss to say the least, especially in hard mode when contact damage gets fucked up. But the general role of this fight is that he shoots lasers, and those lasers will reflect off walls. Now one thing I've noticed that it doesn't reflect off walls so much as it reflects off water, which is kind of cool considering the nature of lasers. But enough about that. The weak point of Jackrabbit is to hit him in the eye several times until he dies. Also, I don't know if you noticed it while watching this video, But Jackrabbit is actually a quadruped. I did not notice that until doing the lore videos, which is really creepy. But you'll know that when you see the actual vids. Now there's a reason we fought Jackrabbit first. If I went up and tried to go to the other side where that chest is right now, I'd be blocked by a wall. Fighting Jackrabbit actually gets rid of that wall and unlocks the chest, so it's ultimately necessary. I just kind of cut out the middleman for you. I don't know why that breakable floor is there. But yeah, our end goal is the origin seal. This is one of 4 big keys that allows us to destroy wall seals and solve more puzzles. For more stuff and more loot. But yeah, the hardest part of this level is just waiting for the fucking elevators. Or missing the elevators. Awesome. Then you hit a bat. And then you follow your death. Now naturally there's always something big atop an elevator level, so we gotta go up the elevators. Which means waiting. Forever. It's like a lobby at the DMV. All you do in this level is wait, potentially hitting something in anger. This is always the worst part about these elevators because there's a transition zone, but every single time you load up this area, the elevator's leaving just before you could get to it. So you're just pissed. On another note, I really like the music in this level. It's a shame that it's not a very important level, because this is good music. It really gives that air of adventure. Also, simple puzzle. Got a dais, got a chest. That chest contains the scale sphere. This little ditty gets rid of poison damage, so now we can actually explore the spring in the sky. And since I have low health, let's resupply. But considering we could actually explore, we actually get to take these waterfalls and not, you know, drown. Also, we introduced the dickfish. He has a better name, but I call him the dickfish because he's a fish with a dick. That ain't right, man. The fish master holds the red light. That's a clue for how to get the key. Now going down here, you instantly notice the broken wall, so Doom instincts make you break it. And since you see the ladder, you think, oh hey, we see a ladder. And also, another clever design point, you see the waterfall next to the save point? The water's trickling down from that area, so you know there's a secret ladder there. Ah, this is gonna be important. This is gonna be important a couple videos from now. But basically, he's telling us how to get a specific artifact. Naturally, all clues tell you how to get artifacts, but that one's really important. Like, suspiciously important. Also, I completely forgot that lasers block your progress here, so I warp out. Because I am smart. The best LP'er. Now, I throw caltrops there seemingly in a meaningless fashion, but speedrunners used to use that to hit themselves in order to knock themselves off the ladder, saving like 5 to 6 seconds on traveling. Which is really nice because going down ladders is the most tedious thing on the planet. Above the sun is the spring in the sky. Just some architecture rules. Mother's wrath sank the earth. The people preserve at the bottom of the sea until their anger subside. Yeah, Mother makes a lot of children. Some of them don't work out. Now, I don't know if you noticed it before, but that dais is held by something. You can't activate it for a while. So we get thrown into the Fishmaster's lair. There's actually a really dark comic about this in the internet. It's really hard to find. But you're basically murdering an anglerfish. And he didn't do anything. You have to murder him, though, because he unlocks that chest. That dais, however, gets rid of the laser. Also, I never noticed, but apparently coins have physics. That's really great. Now, as I mentioned before, the fish holds the red light, so we got our boss key. As water moves the tower, transformed to power, it flows from here. Basically, that's saying that this entire dungeon is a giant hydroelectric plant. Which makes sense in more ways than one, considering both gameplay mechanics and lore. I'll discuss that later, as usual. God, this game has a lot of depth to it. I do a little prep work here, but I really should have explained the puzzle first. Oh, this is another important Eden puzzle, so keep that one in mind. But I basically do a little bit of prep work here. But you gotta tell me that arm really looks attackable. There's a lot of Doom logic in this game in saying that if it looks suspicious, hit it. But don't do it when there's an eye nearby. Also, there's a lot of dead corpses there because they didn't get the scale sphere. Bunch of nerds. Now that we warp back, we have the boss key. Now we just need to activate the Ankh. Activating the Ankh is a really tricky thing because in order to do so, you need to kill Jackrabbit first. And generally, Jackrabbit's really intimidating. Like, unless you fought Amphibinasia right off the bat with 32 HP, that's like the first thing you see that's giant, flying into the room, and genuinely threatening, so most new players, like me, run away. Like a bitch. But, yeah. That key we got from Jackrabbit opens those, spheres in the wall. And that one opens a shop. Unfortunately, we took an elevator, which means more waiting. Now, you know how I said we killed the anglerfish? Nah, he just got pissed at us and moved. He started a store, too. It's a seemingly innocuous store, but once we unlock fairies later, there's actually a interesting secret to it. And I fucked up. Luckily, the elevator came down at the perfect time. If there's one thing that's irritating about this level, it's the elevators. I've said it 4 times before in this video, I gotta keep saying it. This elevator system sucks! Now this is the one room we haven't checked yet, and with good reason. We needed Jackrabbit. Also, Zelpid finally explains the spheres in the wall, after we not only got the key, but opened 2 holes. Good job, Zelpid. Hey look, it's that thing from the tablet at the beginning of the level. Let's step on it. And we get a dais. I don't know why that didn't just, you know, unlock the water, but okay. But yeah, once we did that, water flows. And a tablet at the beginning of the level said unlock the floodgates. That thing doesn't look like a floodgate, but it's the only thing that looks suspicious and links to the room directly next to it. So naturally you gotta hit it. But that also does a hidden effect as well. Damn it, stop hitting elevators. You just need to fucking, you know, go down. Please. There we go. Good job, Lameza. Now, by unlocking the floodgates of Onus, this also floods the rest of the area, which means all those things locked before by the weird green thing are now unlocked, getting us the glove. It beefs up, a glove beefs up your upper body strength. That doesn't make any sense. We should have called it the power glove. But yeah, the power glove, all it does, it makes us push faster, which is actually a really nice luxury if you think about it. Now there was more unlocked due to the unlocking of the floodgates, but it takes a little bit of walking. Which means I probably should have warped, but I wasn't thinking. Oh no, I was thinking. Just in the wrong way. Well, yeah, that's actually better than warping now that I think about it. And I think Dick Fish's revenge gets taken here. Yep. What a dick. As I mentioned before, the water unlocks various things in the area. I also mentioned that that dais was locked. So put 2 and 2 together, we get to unlock that dais. And as you can see, there's a Ankh shape behind it, which is a clear-cut way of saying, hey, this is the boss key. Or boss key hole? I'm trying to use Zelda terms, which I probably shouldn't be doing. It's dumb. See, I feel like the Sacred Lake would have been a little bit more intimidating if it was bigger. That way the first time you go through it, you'll like go through with barely any HP and be like, oh god, that sucked. But now that I think about it, when you have 64 HP, it's probably really tough to keep it. Man, that elevator takes forever. Why? Now with that last puzzle solved, we can check this out now. A tablet earlier in the level says, sail up off to Bahamut, that is where he sleeps. And the Ankh is on a boat. And that finishes up the Spring in the Sky. Next time on La-Mulana LP, we're going to the sun. The Temple of the Sun, that is. Later.